The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome to the Gun Shop Show. I'm your host, Eli Bruton. This is the only show that comes to you from the sales floor of a real operating gun store. And alongside me, as always, in the homemade control room is my man, Trevor.
Hello, everybody.
And then to my right is my right-hand man, Logan.
Logan.
And if you're listening on the radio, that sequence you just heard is not something that we intend to happen, but when the camera cuts to Logan, it somehow encapsulates his looks.
Yeah,
and
like
that's just the effect.
Like a shampoo commercial or something.
You guys remember Fabio and
I do remember Fabio. So Fabio in a shampoo commercial.
Right, that's kind of what you have going.
That's you, Logan.
And we're going to have an awesome show jam-packed for you today. We have an exciting guest joining us, and that is Austin Petersen. Austin Petersen, among many other things, was a candidate for President of the United States and came in second in his party's primary, has really interesting perspective, and I know that he's a gun owner and a believer in guns. And so coming up, we will have Austin Petersen on the show. And we're also going to do like we always do in every show and give you a chance to get some free merch.
Free stuff.
Completely free. How much does it cost?
Free 99.
Free 99.
Free 99.
Zilch. Nada. Now, before we give away the free stuff, let's kind of go over one of the things we're going to be talking about today, which is
Use of the force.
Yeah, buddy.
well, you mean the use
The
of
force.
Yeah,
The force.
yeah.
The force.
No,
the force.
I
Yeah.
told you guys we're going to be talking about the use of force.
Yeah, and
Yes.
we've been ready all week long.
I've been so excited for this.
Yeah.
What are you guys holding?
Nothing.
What do you mean?
What are those?
It's for the episode. The force.
Yes. Star Wars, right? That's
Are
what
those
you're talking about.
lightsabers?
Uh-huh.
No. I meant the use of force or deadly force in a self-defense situation.
Oh.
You guys
Then I wore this shirt for nothing?
prepared to talk about the use of self-defense force, right?
Maybe from a Jedi's perspective.
That's what I thought we were doing. I even wore my Baby Yoda shirt.
So
That's right.
What
Show 'em.
is the force then?
Like from Star Wars, the Force?
I guess. Is that what that's from?
It's a oneness.
Time out. You haven't seen Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Trek.
Oh my.
With Captain
Oh, man,
Picard.
so many nerds just curled up.
Can we mute the mics?
Yeah, let's mute.
Trevor, we're going to have to talk.
Get this guy on
Okay.
the
Who
phone.
is this
We're
guy?
going to have to take a minute and figure out the discussion that we're going to have today. But we're going to be jam-packed. We're going to be checking the voicemail.
That's right.
We're going to be discussing some very cool firearms that have made it into Liberty Tree Guns.
Oh, yeah.
The store in which you hear our voice coming from. And we're going to have our guests coming up. But before we run out of time in this first segment, we
Okay.
need to make sure that our customers get some free stuff.
Absolutely.
Free stuff.
We got
Free,
two
free.
flavors of free stuff.
Free stuff with cheese?
One
Free stuff without cheese.
one is stuff everybody can get.
Okay.
And then there's some limited items that are for the fastest fingers listening.
Fastest fingers.
So I'm going to start with the things that everybody should have. You should get these.
Okay.
Okay.
One is if you're a fan of the show or you're a fan of Liberty Tree Guns or you
Yeah.
believe in freedom and independence and individuality, you need to be representing with a bumper sticker from Liberty Tree
Sweet.
Guns.
I have it on a good authority that there's going to be some sort of competition
There's
that
going to
comes
be a
with that.
competition for Liberty Tree swag. You're going to put it on. You're going to make a photo or a video
What could it be?
representing. And the one with the top winner is going to take home a gun. So just be prepared. Like, we're going to announce that soon, but you need to get this merch just so you have it, but also so that when the time comes when I announce that contest, you can be part of that.
Now,
I'm going to
Eli,
be ready.
What if you have 2 vehicles? Can you get 2 stickers?
You can get 2 stickers. You can get 3 stickers.
If
All
you-
I ask is you
But
be
you
reasonable.
can't get 4 stickers.
Don't
though.
you could get 4 stickers. You got 4 people in your family that believe in guns and freedom?
Well, yeah, I do. I
Good.
do.
I think a lot of people do. They can get 4 stickers. And again, these are completely free. If you need us to ship any of the items that I'm going to talk about, we're going to charge a little bit for shipping. That's just to cover our own cost. But the items are completely free. And among those items are the bumper sticker we just talked about. I'm going to give you 2 kinds of hats this week that you can get in on. So look at this. We got a subdued American flag hat. We have a turquoise version of that. And then we also have a Real Trees Outfitters black and camo hat. You can get those. And then the last 2 exclusive items. And there's only one each of these, so you have to be
Just
the
one
fastest
each? Just
fingers.
Just one.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I've got a pair of electronic earmuffs.
Oh, those are
Beautiful.
nice. Oh, pink's my favorite.
Love them.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor,
So
we know.
these are Walker's brand Razor model electronic shooting earmuffs. And what these do is they protect you from hearing damage while you're shooting. But what they do is they have components inside that allow
Yeah.
you to still hear range commands or someone that you're shooting with,
Yeah.
friend. So they make for not only a more pleasant shooting experience, but they also make you safer because you can
Right.
tell when people are around you. And these are something that we sell several models of electronic earmuffs, but this one particular pair, which is probably going to be popular with the ladies,
And
is
Trevor.
free on the website. Yes.
I may have quicker fingers.
The other is this sweet Gerber multi-tool. It's a 9-in-1 tool, pocket multi-tool. So this is like got the pliers, the side cutters, the knives, the nail files, the probably can openers if I had to guess. Gerber brand, so this is not
Good
a
stuff.
cheapie. This is a good thing you could carry every day on your person. Those 2 items are free. All you have to do is what, Logan?
You're going to want to go to our website at libertytreeguns.com. At the top of the page, you'll see the Liberty Tree merch section. Click that and then click merch. They'll be there for free.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can get a mixture of those freebies. I almost forgot the can koozie.
Oh.
It's summertime. You're going to be wanting to keep your drink cold. And you know what? I'm looking at the camera. So if you are joining us on the live stream on facebook.com/LibertyTreeGuns or YouTube, you're going to see this on camera. And you're going to look at this green color and think, that's kind of a pale.
Yeah,
know,
that camera is not doing that any
No, it's
justice.
No. So this thing is lime green like a Kawasaki.
Yeah.
But it's coming off a little pale on the
Right,
camera. But
yeah.
what this is a foam can koozie to keep your drink cold. And it's repping Liberty Tree Guns on one side and CZ, as in CZ Firearms, of which Liberty Tree Guns is an authorized, the area's only authorized CZ dealer. So that's great. Got some great show news that I need to share with everyone.
Let's hear it, man. I'm first to hear this.
This
it
is
on us.
official.
Okay.
I don't know that you guys even know this.
I probably don't.
Wow.
So we, of course, are very grateful to our host station, News Talk KZRG, where we come live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m.
That's correct.
But our neighbors to the east heard about the legend of the Gun Shop Show.
Oh, we're a legend.
Yeah, we're talking.
Legendary.
We are talking KSGF radio in Springfield.
Very cool.
They heard the Gun Shop Show,
Yeah, they did.
Did they like it?
and they said, you know what? We'd like to have that on our radio station.
Well, I'm happy to be on there.
I'm excited.
That's awesome.
Just got to cross some I's and dot some T's,
Of course.
Yep.
and we'll be
Got them
there.
tees.
Contracts.
Awesome.
Our
Do the
fans from
documents,
Springfield,
signatures.
you are going to have access to us right there with
Very soon.
KSG.
That's awesome.
That is incredible. I mean, the Incredible Gun Shop Show. That's gonna change our theme song a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. So get ready,
I'm
Springfield, to have that theme song
ready to
Blasting
get
in your
hooked.
ears.
coming at you.
Jingle makers coming your way.
That's right. So we're going to be talking about the use of force, which is what?
The force?
I forgot that you guys are still starting. No, the use of force is when we take action using some type of physical action to alter the behavior of another.
Right.
And in the gun world,
I'm following.
we oftentimes spend the most time talking about deadly force.
Mm-hmm.
When it's justified, when it's not, how to deliver it effectively when it is justified. And so, but there are other types of force. Again, this is any action that we take on another person.
Right, to change their behavior, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're going to be breaking down the use of force, how you can improve at all levels of the use of force, from deadly force to the other forms of force, which, does anyone have any guess what those are?
The
Other forms of force. Now, if you have an idea, or maybe if you've taken our class, because this is something I break down in our concealed carry class frequently, put that in the comments. Let me know what other forms of force that you can practice and become more efficient with. But we need to get ready for our guest.
That's right. Any minute now.
Austin Petersen is a radio host, a commentator. He worked as a producer on a show, a national show on Fox Business.
Cool.
That's correct.
Judge Napolitano. So he's got really interesting perspective on guns, freedom, and we'll be going over all of that. We'll be talking about some recent shooting he did right here on the Gun Shop Show.
Kids are curious by nature. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home by doing these simple tasks. Consider gun locks and/or gun safes for storage of firearms. Don't leave your guns unattended where children could reach them. Discuss with your children the rules of firearm safety. Sign your kids up for hunter safety classes. Firearm safety in the household is your responsibility. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home. For more information, visit jaspercountysheriff.org.
Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is now brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth, located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, and that is the Emporium on the square and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and probably my favorite part is the burger and steak joint in the back. But when you walk in, you're in this 150-year-old great big building, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his originals and do framing for him, and it just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through. You have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back, into my favorite part, that's the Woodshed. I've spent a lot of nights and had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. They have catfish. I love their catfish. It's excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue. So this year or last year, we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. This is a photo that you're seeing that I took. And the ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing about it is not only is this my favorite place on earth, but it's owned by one of my favorite people on earth. That's Cherry Babcock. And she is the real deal. She takes care of her customers while they're hosting an event or catering or having a special art class or just their normal business of selling burgers and steaks. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed. Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. I am joined by our guest, Austin Petersen, who is a political commentator, radio host, all-around interesting guy.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me, Eli.
Thanks for coming. So we got a lot of things that our listeners wanted to know, some things I want to know. But you are champion of liberty, and one major component of that fits into what we do here at the Gun Shop Show, which is gun rights.
Yeah, obviously a big story. I mean, I would have to say that the events over the last few months have probably, destroyed the anti-Second Amendment argument for good. And I know you guys don't like to get into politics too much in the show, so I may not weigh in as much as I may just kind of mention certain things.
Well, it's okay if you do.
Yeah, well, I know. But I don't know if you heard the audio of the woman who was in her vehicle with her daughter and her car was surrounded, and she had called 911, the dispatcher, for help, and the dispatcher said that there's nothing we can do and that this is a sanctioned event. And she said, if you have a problem, I suggest you take your concerns to City Hall. Which is probably the last thing that you need when you're calling for a gun, and right? Which is when you call the cops, you're calling for guns, right?
Exigent circumstances, yeah.
Sure. So, I mean, in a scenario where you know that it's possible that the police might not be there, and we have demonstrated examples of that in real life, 2020, happening now, I think that any gun control argument is moot in this environment, at least.
And now is our chance as gun rights advocates to say, see why you as an individual, whether I agree with all of your politics, whether I would even want to associate with you voluntarily, this is why I think you should have the human right to own a gun, because it's not only, the protesters have obviously certain political beliefs that maybe a lot of our listeners would not agree with. However, the fallout for even people who agree with the protesters from violent encounters, from just the spillover, the collateral damage has been massive.
Yeah, it has, and I could tell you story after story of my liberal friends. I've got your soft liberal friends, and then your hard progressive type friends that have contacted me in blue states that have seen videos or photos of me shooting or heard me talking about it, and have been calling asking for my advice on how to get an AR-15. How do I follow the laws of my state? How do I follow the federal laws, and go through all the process? The soft liberals immediately were buying guns, as I'm sure you probably noticed some people, pink hair, maybe coming in here a couple of times.
Absolutely. The leader, the organizer and the leader of the local Green Party said, hey, man, I never thought I would be sending this message, but I need your help. And, I'm happy to help.
And a lot of these people voted for these gun laws. And some of the people who told me specifically, hey, I voted for this gun law, and now I'm really upset about it because I kind of need a gun right now, and I have to wait 10 days to be able to protect my family if I'm in the car and surrounded by, rioters.
Yeah, and you can ask Logan. We had multiple orders online of customers who bought bullets. Now, keep in mind, just bullets.
Just the bullets.
Just the projectile. They didn't buy the entire ammunition. They brought the reloading component bullets because, again, they didn't agree with guns. And, oh, crap, I need one. They're becoming scarce. Let me go to these are in stock.
Right.
Oh, that's a good deal. That's a quarter of the price.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe if they had a slingshot.
And, a lot of gun store owners would belittle those people or say, not help them, make fun of them, say they shouldn't own a gun.
Yeah, gun store owners want to go out of business.
Right, which is almost all of them. Believe it or not, they are their own worst enemy, and we've built our whole business on not being that way.
That's good. That's good, because, that's my attitude. I may, talk tough online, smacking liberals around, thumping them and stuff, but when my friends call me and they ask me, how do I, buy a gun, how do I do that, I'm like, hey, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to understand. But then I do take the chance to say, now come sit on Dad's lap and let's have a little conversation here.
Yeah.
Now, what's causing this change of heart? You know what I mean?
It's time to have the talk.
It's time to have the talk.
Yeah. I had the same thing. One time, a close friend of mine, and he was getting into law enforcement when I was a cop. He was getting married, and I knew he didn't come from a gun family, so I bought them as a gift a pump shotgun, so they would have something in their home. And I didn't want to take it into the reception and show it off, so I called him out of the car. I'm like, hey, man, here's this, here's the gift. And he reaches up immediately and puts his finger on the trigger.
Oh, God.
And I thought, you know, I was just going to give you a gift, but now I'm going to have to be your grandpa, and we're going to have to start from scratch.
Yep.
And so but, you know, anytime you can convert a non-gun owner into a believer and then a trained, experienced gun owner is a great opportunity.
Yeah, I don't raise my voice with my nephew probably ever, but I will say that when he put his finger on the trigger after I had told him not to until he was ready to fire, I raised my voice, elevated it a bit, just because, you know, like we were going to probably talk about this in a minute, but, you know, this story of the armed lawyers in St. Louis, the McCluskeys, these two people were defending the home that they owned. It wasn't their house where they lived, it was their law office, right?
I see.
So,
and it was in the gated community.
on private property.
Right, yeah.
And they probably would have definitely done a lot better if they had shown better muzzle
Discipline.
and trigger control.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily blame them, because when you're terrified for your life and you got an angry mob starting for you, that's pretty close to the time when you start putting your finger on the trigger.
Right.
And start pointing guns at people to tell them to back off, because just having a gun and pointing at someone, yeah, that's a deadly threat, but it's also a way to de-escalate if the other person is threatening you and doesn't have the ability to do, you know.
And I get the question a lot because people want to know, some states have what they call brandishing laws. So unless you're literally about to fire your gun, you can't display it. But thankfully in Missouri, the statute reads, you can't display a firearm in an angry or threatening manner. So that means I can pull a gun out. Say you and I are talking, we're on a public place or on a sidewalk, and you want to know what kind of gun I carry, I can safely pull it out and talk to you about it. I haven't committed a crime. Now, if I point it, there needs to be circumstances that would justify it. Now, in the case of this, there was already property damage. There was circumstances that would allow, and the statutes say in Missouri, conduct which would otherwise be a crime is justifiable and excusable when a person reasonably believes it's necessary to repel unlawful force. And that's the circumstances we had for them. And I think Trevor has some photos of them. They have been become pop culture
Icons.
Icons, yeah.
And I run so far away. Very Vice City, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, kind of like
Because the house looks like the mansions you'd be. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look at that. And you know,
I just wanted a grill.
whenever I was in high school, it was the preppy kids that wore those light pink shirts.
We need some-
He's bringing them back.
We need some Hall and Oates playing right now. You're out of touch. It's like Scarface. The end of Scarface. The world is yours.
Right.
Did you find the one? I saw
Yeah.
someone made a T-shirt that said, "I'm here to
I came to
cut grass and drop brass."
And the mowing is done. But you know what? Here's the thing. To me, like, I don't look at these people at this context in a racial context, even though the public wants us to look at that in a racial context. Because if you flip the script and if it was an angry mob of white supremacists with torches and it was a black couple standing outside their house defending their property,
We'd be rooting for them.
you'd be rooting for them the exact same way.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because like the establishment and the mainstream media and these people, they want to control the narrative and such, they always want you to think about these things in racial context rather than self-defense context.
We'll be right back. The Ruger Security 9 LTO, an exclusive new firearm only from Liberty Tree Guns. This is an affordable pistol that comes with Ruger's renowned reliability and workmanship, and comes with an optic with a 3-year warranty. If you haven't ever shot a pistol with an optic on it, it's a lot of fun and you can really acquire a target quickly. All right, Ruger Security 9 LTO unboxing. So it pretty much obviously comes with everything the Ruger Security 9 would already come with. and this is how they look in the box. Ruger started doing this insert in the box, which is kind of nice. We've had to modify it a little bit to make sure that your optic fits. So there's a cutout so the cover can go on and then the gun can fit right here in that. They come with 2 mags, so a lot of price point guns, you're just getting 1 mag, but you get 2 15 round, OEM mags. A couple little bonuses is the optic comes with the AR mounts. So if you want to pull this optic off and run it on an AR, you've got everything that you need. That's a freebie, just comes in the box. Once we pull this insert out, here's where all the goodies that come with the optic. Got a 3-year warranty on the Firefield optic, the user manual. It has the tools for both mounting the optic if you want to take it off, and also the adjustment screwdriver for the windage and elevation, and then all of the factory information for your pistol. So this is the format that those will come in. And again, guys, remember, this is an option if you are excited to try out an optic on a pistol and you want to do it for a price point. So these at this price are cheaper than some guys are paying for just an optic. You're getting the gun and the optic. You can get the price and all the details at libertytreeguns.com. Just search LTO. Hey everybody, it's Eli at Liberty Tree Guns here at 530 West Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri, and I want to show you a gun collection that we just bought from an individual. A little bit of everything in this one. We wrote a check for 22 guns. Got some newer lever guns, cool Henry Silverboy, some older shotguns. This is a cool old 410 double barrel. This was a good mix. There was some newer type stuff, some old stuff here, some black powder, some cool Colt, black powder revolvers, newer Rugers, Mark IIIs, PMR 30, Taurus Judge, couple of Taurus revolvers, got a long slide 1911 right here, and then got this cool Llama 45. We just sold the sister to that gun in 38 Super. This particular individual, this is half the collection that we bought from him. And so I just want to remind you that we pay top dollar for entire collection. So we'll buy 1 gun or 100 from you, and we can offer consignment where we sort of establish what these guns are worth and we pay you out when they sell. Or in the case of this one, we offered consignment, we discussed it, and then we offered a cash price, which was a little bit less than the consignment settlement price, but it's quick. It was 1 check and we paid those all out to this individual. And probably the biggest, baddest, coolest one of the whole mix was this Bushmaster BA-50. So we have everything from little antique 22s to 50 cals in this one collection. I want to remind you that we'd love a chance to buy your collection. Find us at libertytreeguns.com or here on Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri. See you soon. Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. Before the break, we were talking about this couple of attorneys in, was it St. Louis?
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the things about this story, I only briefly looked it up. I kind of course the stage was set that maybe they weren't justified or maybe there was some political thing, but they're actually attorneys, and actually a lot of their clientele are people of color. They sympathize, even from what I read, they sympathize with Black Lives Matter, but here came an angry mob, destroyed a 100-year-old gate to get in private property, where some elements were being violent, coming toward buildings, and so next thing you know, they're out there defending their property with guns.
Yeah, now you've got the properties boarded up because they had another rally to come back to protest them again in order to show them that, hey, you can't, terrorize us on your own property, but They'll be fine. I mean, it was interesting that the McCluskeys, had these left-wing views. It didn't surprise me. A couple of rich personal injury attorneys living in St. Louis. You're going to assume that they're going to be Democrats. But at the end of the day, even Democrats in Missouri like their AR-15s, as we learned. But it did spawn an awesome meme series. And
Trevor was telling me that there is a subreddit that is basically like liberal
gun owners.
Liberal
That's what
gun
it's
owners.
called. Yeah.
And I wasn't aware of that. But
Vermont, Bernie Sanders people, like Bernie Sanders is bad on pretty much everything from my view, as libertarian, but the one thing he's never said is that we need to overturn the Second Amendment.
I know, and that's the thing. When people kind of reacted when Bernie Sanders was still a factor in the race, is he doesn't make most liberals happy on the gun topic, because he still, to the extent that he recognizes the power of the individual.
Yeah, liberals also don't like him on borders because he agrees with Trump on the whole concept of borders and creating a nation state. So there's a lot of like horseshoe theory out there where you go so far right that you end up left and stuff like that.
Yes.
And that happens a lot with libertarians too.
Yeah, well, I had a couple people in our group, the Gun Shop Show group on Facebook, and they're a couple friends of mine, and they're left libertarians, and the couple of them were complaining that you were not libertarian enough. And I said this might be the first time that a libertarian wasn't libertarian enough for another libertarian.
Yeah. Must have been the very first time.
This is the only time that's it. So if you're just joining us, we have Austin Petersen here with us, who it was a libertarian candidate for president. I feel like you probably may be tired of talking about that, but
no, I don't mind. I know people like to look through that as a lens because it's an election year, so people want to look at what happened in 2016 and kind of compare it to today.
Right, but that's a pretty significant attempt, and to try to run for president.
And it shaped the political landscape. You were going up against a known Republican governor, so he kind of got. The party wanted to see that name recognition and see where that went. But
they were very risk averse. They didn't read the climate properly because in 2016 people kind of wanted somebody who was an outsider that wasn't a part of the old establishment, whether it's the neoconservative establishment on the right or the Hillary Clintonites, corporate Democrat on the left. So people kind of wanted something that was going to shake things up. Rand Paul could have filled that. You know what I mean?
But he just didn't for some reason.
Well, you had to be more aggressive. That was my thing. The qualities that I admire in Donald Trump are things that a lot of those left libertarians you're talking about despise in me, right? They don't like that because it's
can't stand him was one of the words used.
Yeah, they don't like bravado. They don't like masculinity. They're very left liberal. They like the gender is 150 different types of gender and stuff like that. And whether or not that's true doesn't matter to me. But I mean, to them, that's their tribe. So men who act like men are a threat to them because it's a threat to their worldview on culture and whatever it is. For me, it's politics. I don't care what you are, what you do, or who you do, or when, or how, or what, if you were a man wearing a dress. It doesn't bother me. But I mean, if a libertarians, I think, had presented somebody who could have had that bravado of Donald Trump, mixed with positive policies that are not terrifying, reasonable stair steps to get towards liberty, they probably could have done a lot better. But Gary was kind of like a limp noodle.
I mean, he tried though, man. I do remember him talking about some of the feats that he accomplished to try to make him more manly than Trump. That was
he tried, but it
looked like he was trying. Yeah,
the problem is it's 90%. It's not what you say,
right?
It's how you say it.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the display of the Republican primaries were a perfect example.
The Gary Johnson people were deluding themselves. They were just like the Hillary Clinton people were deluding themselves. They're like, well, no, we want to be respectable, and he's quirky, but it's okay. They don't want a professor. They want somebody to get out there and kick Hillary's butt,
right?
And maybe kick Donald Trump's butt if they'd gotten on the debate stage and show them what a principled, strong leader who is actually well spoken and knows where Aleppo is.
Right. Well, I know the libertarians' position at that time, at least from my perspective, was trying to get onto the national stage. They were trying to get that percentage amount so that they would get equal treatment with the other two major parties.
There was still groundbreaking things for libertarians in that election because you had a debate. John Stossel was the moderator. That was the most produced. Before libertarians were having discussion.
House.
Yeah, on one cable access channel in Tucson with the bad
and what about
connection.
And what about this time? It's 2020. what are we doing this time? You know what I mean? Like, where's the libertarian debates this time? I think people probably are wondering why 2016 versus 2020, why was there so much more? Well, it wasn't just Gary, it was the political climate at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
About every 30 years in the United States, there is a significant push for a third party. So that was about our chance until we get another wave of dissatisfaction after, a few generations go by.
People may get tired of the dramatic polarization and welcome what's an alternative, but you can feel like you share views from both sides and
I think
embrace.
you're right, but the problem is like the people who paint themselves as moderates today were the radicals that we wanted out of power before Trump got in.
Yeah.
Like the people that Trump defeated are now what they call themselves the middle, like the Bill Kristols of the world, right? The Bulwark, like all these like conservatives, Romneyites and all that. And then on the left, the people who paint themselves as moderates are Hillary Clinton and all those type of people, right? Like Bernie Sanders is actually more moderate than like AOC and some of these stuff. So like there is a squeezing effect going on, but the challenge is going to be that we don't turn around and give power back to these people who claim to be moderates, but are just the extremists from the 99.
Just the leftovers.
So I noticed over the 4th of July weekend, you were doing some of what we love here on the Gun Shop Show, and that is getting out to the range and shooting. Tell me about that, and I think you were bringing in some new shooters.
I'll tell you, it's expensive because
Especially right now.
I didn't want to do it. Everybody wanted to shoot my AR-15, and I almost didn't want to let them because it's so hard to find ammunition, and it's expensive. And I see a lot of these shelves here are pretty bare. You guys are selling a lot of guns, but no, we had a good time. 4th of July is always a good, family affair. We go out to the farm in Peculiar. And we bought a bunch of fireworks. My nephew's 9 years old, going on 10, and he loves guns. And so, teach him gun safety. And my sister and her partner were there. And
Trevor, I think we have some video of that. Let's just see if we can get some of that on screen while he talks about it.
Sure.
So I built my AR-15 from a Palmetto State Armory build. It was like, I got it in like 2015, I think, 2014. And it was like $450 then. Good luck trying to get it now for that.
Non-existent.
Non-existent. So I built that one myself and brought it to 4th of July. My sister's partner, she's a Native American woman, and she really wanted to shoot the AR-15. She was a good shot. So I taught her some techniques, how to properly handle it, maintain it, how it breaks down, and so how simple it is.
You know what I've found? If you take two shooters, male and female, generally speaking, as an instructor, the female shooter will become more proficient faster.
Really?
And I think it's because they actually listen.
Maybe.
The guys think they know,
Yeah.
and they think they're tough. And but I have found that women are natural shooters. Last week's show was on the guns of Annie Oakley. I don't know how much history of the figure Annie Oakley you know, but you would appreciate. She was just a true American hero. In the truest sense, but she was a female shooter, came in and at 15 years old beat the best men in the country.
Dang.
And in fact, one of the best sharpshooters that was traveling the country challenged any local shooter. She came up and beat him, and then he married her.
Smart move.
Yeah. He got bested twice.
So we'll be right back in just a minute. Our guest is Austin Petersen. We'll also be checking the voicemail and talking about some more headlines on the Gun Shop Show.
This just in. Huge cave found beneath the heart of the city. Spelunkers shared tales of an underground cavern system in Carthage, Missouri. Locals report the entrance at 10th and Garrison.
Cave Gang Pizza. Stop in and enjoy wings, wood-fire pizza made with local ingredients, and our full bar. Bring the whole and uncover a legend.
The Gun Shop Show costs money to make, and the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by pecans and cheese. Not really. Actually, we didn't have any sponsors for this segment, and so I decided that I would take a snack break and also I decided if you guys are tired of listening to me eat cheese and nuts, that you need to buy an ad. So from now on, if our ad sponsorships don't sell out, you're going to have to listen to me eat nuts and cheese. In order to sponsor the Gun Shop Show, send us an email at thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Next week, chips.
Good morning, Four States. This is John Hart, and welcome to the Gun Shop Show. I am the owner of the vet company of Joplin, and I'm here to give you an update at the Andersons estate. Follow me. We're now starting on the staircase. This will be done by the next time you guys come over and visit us. As you can see, the upper deck is almost complete. Put in the Brazilian cherry in the bands. It's really looking nice, guys. Today we're going to be focusing on the rails, putting in a cable rail. You guys got to come back and watch this. It's an awesome process. We're taking down the bridge and we're going to replace that. If you guys need a free estimate, call me 417-629-7886. Thanks again for joining us.
All right, welcome back on the Gun Shop Show. Coming up, we're going to be checking the voicemail. And so that thing is completely chock full, Trevor.
Oh, yeah, I've heard it's quite heavy.
I tried to pick up the voicemail phone, and it was weighed down. I could barely lift it.
You might have to get Logan to help you on that one.
I think I will.
I can help you.
But before we do that, we need to keep talking with our guest, Austin Petersen. Thank you so much for taking time out to be here today, Austin.
Yeah, man, love Liberty Tree.
Appreciate that. So 2 questions that we had from our Facebook group for listeners. We've got a group of about 3,400 people that are interested in the show, and one cool thing about that group is it gives them a little bit of access to the show that you wouldn't otherwise get. And one example is I posted, we're going to have you on, what are some questions that listeners would have? And so I had 2 from that group that listeners wanted to know. And one is, and Trevor, if you can put it on screen, we had a photo of you, kind of a headshot style one I think you use for promotional things at different points, holding a gun. And it appears to be a black powder pistol of some kind. And our listeners wanted to know, what is that thing? Tell us about it.
That's the famous garbage gun. So that is a replica of George Washington's flintlock pistol. He got those. There's another one. It has a pair. So it's a pair of dueling pistols that he got as a gift, and they sell those really nice replicas of them at Mount Vernon in Virginia. I bought one probably around 2012 or so, and kept it for a few years on my desk. Something to talk about. People like the conversation piece. Really nice replica of it. And when I ran for president, I took it with me to the presidential convention. It was President's Day that we had the vote, who was going to be the Libertarian Party's nominee. And, I knew that there was, small chance that I would win, but if I lost, then as a symbolic gesture on President's Day, I would give that gift as a sign of my support and respect to whoever the winner was. Ultimately, it was Gary Johnson, and say, here, you have my support, my respect, and my gun, meaning I'll, go to battle for you, right?
Yeah.
It's a symbol.
That is a great symbol.
Yeah, and he chose a vice presidential candidate, a guy by the name of Bill Weld, kind of a liberal guy from Massachusetts, Republican, a guy from Massachusetts. And I didn't endorse, they, were demanding I endorse this guy, and then I didn't. So Gary threw that gun in the garbage. And
Seriously?
What?
No way.
That photograph is after the incident.
That is, for me,
You can, no, if you go to Fox News, there's an article from like 2016 that tells the story because Fox News found out about it, contacted Gary Johnson. He said, "Yeah, I threw the gun away, and I'd do it again,
God,
so,
wow.
So
Gary Johnson.
My
First of all,
found it and brought it to me.
I don't care how much disagreement or beef you have with something. At least bring it and put it on consignment at Liberty Tree.
No joke. I rescind my vote.
Yeah. So anyways, but that became a big ordeal. So now that gun, because they tried to buy it back, when the news started breaking, they were like, we'll give you $1,500 for it, and then we're like, we'll give you just a blank check. Just please give us back this gun. And so now I'm like, now this thing's worth thousands.
The Johnson campaign did that?
They sent intermediaries to come the day after the convention to come talk to me and buy it back. But I kept it because I was like, man, the value of this thing just skyrocketed, so I think I'm going to keep it.
What a great story. What a great story.
So we call that the garbage gun.
Interesting. So that was a way better answer than I expected you to get.
It's a
about
good story.
what the
There's a video clip on C-SPAN you can find of me like crying, giving him the gun.
Really?
You have my support, my respect, and my gun, and then he takes it.
And then later just ditches it. What a heartbreaking story. Well, that is great.
Good content.
Good content for the show, absolutely. So the other question was, we as gun owners seem to be constantly fending off politically attacks on gun rights, chipping away. There was a scandalous article of me in the Joplin Globe where I said, I don't have the greatest confidence in Donald Trump on guns. I said I don't know where he stands, except for he's a New Yorker. He didn't grow up like I did. He's a deal maker. I'm just saying we need to be careful during this term that he might compromise if there's something he really wants, like a border wall or whatever. People said, you're crazy. And the next thing you know, he's entertaining executive orders to ban certain accessories like bump stocks. And so we're constantly, if anything, what are we giving up or what are we compromising on? You've taken an interesting stance, which I tend to agree with, is instead of constantly being on the defense of trying to keep bans and restrictions on gun ownership happening, we should be pushing for less restrictions to repeal laws that restrict gun ownership. So in your opinion, what would that look like? Where would we start?
Well, anybody who's good at the art of the deal, I mean, if you've read the art of the deal, then you know that you should always, in any negotiation, ask for more than you think you can get. If I do any business transaction, especially with somebody that I don't really know that well, I tend to ask for more than I think that I can get, just because typically what happens is that they're going to negotiate and I'm going to lose part of that, and then I'm going to fall back to the position that I really want to be at.
Right.
If you want to look at it in like a real politic world, like one of the reasons I think why Israel seeks to expand settlements on their borders is because they know that keeps the enemy at the gates.
From shrinking it. Yeah.
Correct. So they go for more than they think that they can get because they know that they've got to try and protect themselves and their borders, right? So it should be like that for us policy-wise. But I think that because we've so softened our society, can I say candy ass on the radio? Or?
That's not one of the 7 words as far as
I don't
know.
believe so. We listed them all off last week.
We've become very soft, and we've softened our language. We use a lot of euphemisms to describe things. Somebody passes away, right?
They don't die. They
don't
pass
die.
away.
They pass away, right? So because of this, we have been loath to be out and about because the media are out there with the cancel culture and ready to destroy anybody they can. And I'm sure I'll get comments for wearing this Hawaiian shirt because of the boogaloo connotations, right? And it's like, but if you don't push the boundaries, if you don't push the barriers for your side and for your cause, they will most assuredly push them against you.
Yeah.
They will because their stated aim is very clear and very honest and open about what they want to do to disarm us and to economically disincentivize us.
And we have the mistaken instinct to hunker down. Well, at least we got this. At least we have our ARs.
Well, at least we didn't look like we're crazy in the Joplin Globe.
Yeah.
The Joplin Globe didn't write a piece on me today. Oh, thank God. And if they do, we're, oh, my God, the Joplin Globe. Who gives a crap about it? How many people read Joplin Globe? No offense.
No one.
No one.
Nobody.
It's true.
Nobody reads it.
I read it every day.
You'd clip it for the coupons.
Right.
Yeah. How did you know that?
Some sweet deals
How
in
does
there.
he know that about you?
Right?
So
I wear it like
He
a
has a
badge.
whole technique with his coupons and how he retains them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these
Save
days I'll
$5
share
at
it.
Schnucks.
Yeah, you're going to have to sell that. Maybe get yourself a Patreon. And,
I'll call it
reveal
my
that.
art of the deal.
If there's ever another toilet paper shortage, we can just use that.
Let's give an example, though. Let's pick one topic. What would we go on the offense? I have one in mind, but I want to know what yours might be.
I think we need machine guns back. Yeah, I think we need to dismantle the National Firearms Act. I think that making the National Firearms Act in totality, our goal to try and dismantle that law, the 1934, is that what it was? 1934 one would be a good idea. If not, then let's go back in time to like the 1986 assault weapons, transfer bans and things like that, so that I don't have to pay $30,000 for your Tommy gun over there. You're freaking.
Our friends at Midwest Tactical would have to change up their business model because they deal in those transferable machine guns, and they're a finite resource. People buy them as investments, but
that's more than I think we can get, by the way. Overturning the National Firearms Act.
But that's the art of the deal.
Yes.
And so that's kind of along the lines with what my suggestion was going to be, was to start with suppressors, because they're easy to make the argument that this is safer for hearing. Doesn't make it any more deadly. It makes the gun longer and bigger and less concealable, if anything. So and that falls under the National Firearms Act. But it's hard for even an anti-gunner really to make a valid argument against suppressors. So if we say legalize suppressors, don't make me pay a special stamp, don't make me wait longer to get that, I think that would be a good way. So let's have the debate on that instead of whether or not we should be able to own 30-round magazines.
Well, but that might be the fallback position, right? So if we're going after that NFA, then we're like, okay, so we're not going to abolish the NFA, but we are definitely going to, take down the regulations for suppressors and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we want.
Right.
Right? What we think we can get. But if we advocate for that, they're going to whittle that down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a great point.
We got to ask for more than that.
That's a great point.
I want more.
That's the art of the deal.
Yeah.
So people may hear this segment and want to follow you. I know we have a lot of overlapping listeners and followers that already know who you were, but if people are discovering you for the first time, you are a radio host of your own. So tell us about your show.
Yeah, so my show's in mid-Missouri, Jefferson City. It's on KWOS News Radio. It's on 950 AM and 104.5 FM there if you can get it on terrestrial. But otherwise, you can go to KWOS.com and stream it. There's an app on iPhone and Android that's KWOS.com. Pretty simple to do it there. And then our Facebook live stream in the morning from 6 to 9 is pretty lit. It's a lot of fun. We usually get a lot of listeners in there. And
do you have a porta potty in your live stream background?
I don't. We actually have a bathroom for normal people, right? So COVID free. So you can find me there. But the Facebook live stream, I highly recommend it because it's just a lot of fun, and we do polls and different things like that in there. And people are really weird, and then usually they'll make a lot of fun, dirty jokes.
Yeah,
at like 6 a.m.
So. Well, what better time?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. People have a bigger appetite for humor than I think they realize. And one thing that the Gun Shop show is kind of spreading like wildfire, and I think the only thing that's really different for our show compared to a lot of other gun shows is we don't take ourselves too serious.
Good.
We're being funny a lot, and it makes it kind of broadly palatable. And so now we've just added a second station. I talked to you off air, but I want to be maybe coming to see you at your station.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Thanks so much.
And COVID right there.
Come back sometime. Come back sometime, please. It's been fun on the Gun Shop Show. Hey, podcast listeners and live stream viewers. I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership, and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters. And it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. And here's some photos of my trips to Colorado that we took in our RV from Mid-America RV. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory, and they are home of the lifetime RV warranty. So I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. And as you can see, they have a large inventory selection of trailers and fifth wheels, and they specialize in those. They don't carry any motorhomes or anything like that. So if you are in the market for a tow-behind RV of any size, from a little teardrop to a full-size trailer, I urge you to check out Mid-America RV. Now, we weren't sent any promotional material, so we decided, and this is from genuinely from my personal experience. There's a trip of me in Colorado in my Surveyor that I got from Mid-America RV, and so we decided we would make our own commercial for these guys since we believe in them so much. So, Trevor, I assume that you are prepared with material, right?
I'm going to jingle on the spot.
That you didn't make one ahead of time.
I didn't. No, I didn't. And I'm actually a little nervous right now.
Can you put it on the lot?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it.
Let's refresh. And here we go.
They may not appreciate this.
Mid-America RV, the San Francisco treat.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm not so hot at the making up of stuff, so I borrow from other people.
Okay, well, the point is Mid-America RV will treat you right. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV. Hey, you know what makes this, the Gun Shop Show, possible? It's people who believe in the show. And someone who has believed in the show from the very beginning is my good friend Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply. Here's a message from Chris.
Guys, my name's Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply, and I just want to take a few seconds here to let you know that we are going to be proud sponsors of the Gun Shop Show, and we appreciate everything that them guys are doing over there, and we just want to show them our support. Thank you.
So whether you have 2 chickens or 2,000 acres, Chris is your man. Give him a call. I guess that's pretty much the ad.
Whitehead Farm Supply.
Seriously?
Always.
People are always asking me, Eli, you seem to get the best deals on things. What is your secret?
Glory Actions and estate sales.
Trevor, I appreciate you jingling, but I have to say the ad part first because people need to know about the company.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do it.
And then also, it's it's covering up my face. So
right.
just get a picture like from their Facebook page because that's the best place, and then just put it right up here where the Gun Shop Show logo is. Okay.
All right, I'll do better this
time.
Then
and so let me finish the ad, and then you can jingle. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the best place to go is their Facebook page.
Oh, Glory Actions and estate sales.
You know what? Fine. I'll just move in between the graphics and finish telling people that the best place to find out when
Old Glory Actions and estate sales. I think I got it that time, man.
Hey, I want to take a second to give a shout out to some friends of mine. That's Greg and Shirley Freeman. I want to say happy 50th wedding anniversary. Greg has become a great friend of mine in the last few years, and I just want to say you guys are a great example to younger married couples. And Shirley, just so you know, when Greg talks about you when you're not around, it is with the same level of respect and endearment that he does when you're in person. And so you guys deserve all the happiness in the world, and sure appreciate you. So happy 50th, and I'll be seeing you at your anniversary party.
The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. If you are listening on News Talk KZRG and you came here to hear Kim Commando, well,
guess what?
Not anymore.
No.
Kim Commando.
Kim Commando. What you're getting is the Gun Shop Show, which is and you're in the second hour, by the way. Now
That's
a
right.
2-hour show. That sound cannot be ignored.
It cannot. It sounds very heavy.
It's
guys
almost
hearing
like
that?
it just is not going to stop.
Mm-mm.
You guys
No,
hearing that?
no.
So
What is that?
the Gun Shop Show is what you're hearing now, which is a show broadcast from the sales floor, Liberty Tree Guns. And among many of the things we do, which is show you the guns in our inventory, tell you guns of history, tell you practical applications for the use and the ownership and the promotion of firearms and shooting sports. We also check our voicemail.
That's right, and we do it the right way, Eli.
Yeah. We
don't
haven't-
mess around.
We don't have an intro.
Because someone deleted it.
Because, we had an intro made up and it got deleted. It's a
Yeah, that
little
was
bit-
my twin brother, Trevor.
So
he spells it with a T. I spell it with a C.
What we're having to do
Makes sense.
What we're having to do is just do the promo.
Mm-hmm. You got new strings on that?
Yeah, but we're not going to be able to check the voicemail if I don't get the voicemail phone out.
Okay, yeah, you should probably do that. Were you going to have...
Did you need help with that? You said it was heavy.
It
'cause
was really full of voicemails, and it was just... Let me try and get
It's
it.
okay. Don't pull a hammy.
Logan.
You're gonna need to change your pants after this, man.
Spot me.
There you go. Oh man, we need to empty that thing, man. All right.
All right.
I think I pulled something.
That's the fullest the voicemail box has ever been.
I noticed.
I can guarantee you that.
It's frothing.
Okay. So we have to do the intro to let people know that checking the voicemail is about to happen.
Yeah, or else they wouldn't know.
So I don't really remember the song, but I'll...
off the top of your head, I'm sure you'll get it.
If you do me like a countdown, I can probably do it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's...
Okay, so are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you ready?
No, hang on.
All right.
You
You forgot your part?
Yeah, okay, I'm good. I'm
okay,
good.
here
Let's
we go.
go.
Okay, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, a 3, 4.
Are you ready to check the voicemail?
Woo! Man!
That was the craziest one.
3 or 4 strings that time, man.
I broke 4 strings.
4 strings?
Yeah, last week I broke 3 strings. I broke 4 strings that time.
I'll tell you what, man. My pipes.
Yeah. People don't know. You're sacrificing your body. to do
Yeah,
that.
I threw my body out there on that one.
All right. So, folks, if you want to know how this works, we take calls from our listeners. And listeners find us all sorts of ways on the radio, on television, on the podcast, and they want to ask questions or be involved in the show, and they can do that. How do they reach us?
They can call us at, let's see here, 208-918-1776.
That's the number.
That's
if you
right.
want to be on the show, call it. I'm going to go ahead and try and access the
Dial in that top
let me
secret
get
code.
This is a proprietary.
Okay. Yep,
People have asked us if they could. You can't get this. This is one of a kind. You can't get this
Custom
set up.
made.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah. Okay. See if it worked.
Hello, Eli. This is Terry from Joplin. I just had a question about concealed carry or open carry. You've, I believe, addressed it within the state of Missouri, but how about states that are around Missouri or neighboring states? Wondering what are the laws or regulations. Maybe US LawShield could address this as well. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. He's talking about US LawShield, which is our flagship sponsor here on the Gun Shop Show.
Right.
Can't appreciate those guys enough because not only do they have something that our listeners need, but they are great supporters of the show. They help make it possible, help the show grow. People don't realize it takes a lot to bring this show to you every week. It takes
That is correct.
multiple people's labor and work, and there's production cost, and there's airtime cost to get it out to you on the radio and all these platforms. And US LawShield helps make that possible, so we appreciate that. In addition to making that possible, they sent me this handy-dandy thing that will help us answer Terry's question. Also, I think we have US LawShield in the waiting to help answer this question.
That is correct. Coming right up, right after this map.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned.
Look at this.
After the map.
Look at that map.
Look.
That's the U.S.
Now, I have to ask you, Eli, are the blue ones the good ones?
Yeah, that's where you want to be on the
Okay. Yeah, blue equal good, red equal bad.
So is Missouri blue?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
He went to public school. Okay, this is what we're talking about. All right, so what we have is Vic Young from US LawShield. He's going to help break down Terry's question, which essentially was, let's talk about when you travel outside of the state of Missouri and how you're affected by your permit. Vic, thanks for joining us.
You bet. Glad to be here, man. I got to say, though, you kind of blow my mind. You were shredding on that guitar like something I haven't seen. I think maybe you missed your calling.
Yeah, I appreciate that. A lot of people have said something about they can't see it, but I mean, you obviously saw it. It comes through just fine for you.
Right in my face, man. It was an awesome spectacle, I got to tell you.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you. Did you hear the voicemail that we got on the phone?
I did.
Okay. Terry wanted to know. We've covered a lot of what happens under your permit when you're traveling inside the state of Missouri, but how are you affected when you're carrying with a permit, without a permit, when you travel outside of the state of Missouri?
Well, that map is a real handy resource. I heard it mentioned, do the blue states mean they're good? Yes, absolutely. They recognize Missouri's permit, and they will recognize it if you're traveling in their domicile. Obviously, you have that wonderful little state there to the east that is bright red. They do not recognize Missouri's permit. And I will mention, for reference, the gray states are states that recognize your Missouri permit as long as you're a resident of the state. If you are carrying an Arizona permit and you live in Missouri, they will not recognize it.
I'm struggling to get this map on the
Do
screen
you need help
here.
there?
Logan, you hold it, and I'll just reference it.
And Logan to the rescue.
Okay, so you said one thing that we need to cover. Get that on screen, bro, because I got to talk about this. I have students in concealed carry. They say, okay, look at these bordering states. The microphone's right in the way. There we go. Okay, the red one. You mentioned the red one right there touching Missouri. People say, what do? I have family in Illinois, and I need to travel. And I give them a very simple answer. Just disown them.
Walk away.
What are they doing living in Illinois? That's on them. Joking aside, you can travel into all of those bordering states with some degree of confidence that you're going to be in compliance with their laws in terms of recognizing Missouri's permit, with the exception of Illinois. Is that right?
That is correct.
And one of the things that I like to point out is that they recognize our permit. That doesn't mean that you have to only be concerned with conducting yourself in the same way that you would in Missouri. There could still be criminal statutes that you need to be aware of that are different in those states that you still need to comply with, even if you have your permit.
You're 100% correct. It is your responsibility as the gun owner to know the laws of the land that you are in. Just because they recognize your permit does not mean they recognize Missouri law. They recognize their own law, and it is 100% your responsibility to do so. And that's one of the great benefits of being a member of US LawShield. You can call us, you can talk to an attorney, you can talk to the attorney in that state you're traveling in, and you can find out precisely what those laws are, what your rights are, and pitfalls of carrying in that state.
Which is an incredible resource on top of the main benefits of being a member of US LawShield, as I am. And what US LawShield is legal defense for your self-defense, right?
Yes.
And
yes, we represent for any non-heinous act with a firearm or any legal weapon. So not just self-defense, It could be something that is encroaching on your Second Amendment rights as a result of carrying a concealed weapon.
And so one of the benefits on top of having an attorney that's going to come to your defense if you find yourself in a legal battle, both criminal or civil, but also you have just this resource such as this map is something that I'm sure we can find on the US LawShield website. Being a host facility and you sponsoring us, you're going to be able to come in, reference this map, physically look at where your permit is honored, how it's honored, but also people can contact an attorney just to say, hey, I'm going to be working in the state of Texas, and what do I need to know? Or can I do this certain thing with my firearm and be in compliance? And there's a hotline that members can call to get those types of questions answered.
Absolutely.
So Vic, I want you to stick with us. We're going to come back after the break, and I want you to tell people how to take advantage of a US LawShield and put it to work for them to give them security as a gun owner on the Gun Shop Show. Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is now brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth, located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, and that is the Emporium on the square and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and probably my favorite part is the burger and steak joint in the back. But when you walk in, you're in this 150-year-old great big building, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his originals and do framing for him. And it just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through. You have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back, into my favorite part, that's the Woodshed. I've spent a lot of nights and had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. They have catfish. I love their catfish. It's excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue. So this year or last year, we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. This is a photo that you're seeing that I took. And the ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing about it is not only is this my favorite place on earth, but it's owned by one of my favorite people on earth. That's Cherry Babcock. And she is the real deal. She takes care of her customers while they're hosting an event or catering or having a special art class or just their normal business of selling burgers and steaks. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed.
Kids are curious by nature. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home by doing these simple tasks. Consider gun locks and/or gun safes for storage of firearms. Don't leave your guns unattended where children could reach them. Discuss with your children the rules of firearm safety. Sign your kids up for hunter safety classes. Firearm safety in the household is your responsibility. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home. For more information, visit JasperCountySheriff.org.
Got me on the sip cam again. Taking a sip during the break from my Liberty Tree Guns tumbler, by the way, available at Liberty Tree Guns. We were taking questions from callers and knocking them out the park before the break, and we need to continue to do that. We have Vic from US LawShield on the line. And Trevor, you mentioned during the break you had a question for me.
Yes, Victor. I was wondering, any of those states that don't reciprocate, what would be a one-size-fits-all solution for traveling through those states?
You know, the honest one-size-fits-all answer would be to securely separate your firearm and your ammunition. So states vary, but if you lock your firearm in one place in the car and the ammunition somewhere else, that would be the one-size-fits-all. There is a 1974 Heller Act or safe passage law that essentially says, you know, if the place you're leaving and your destination recognize the same laws. You have the right to exercise those laws as you travel. I highly discourage somewhat of that behavior because most law enforcement won't recognize it or understand it possibly, and you could find yourself in a lot of trouble.
And those blue states, I want to remind people, that doesn't just mean you're good to take off and carry a gun concealed in those states. That means they honor our permit, which means the Missouri concealed carry permit is valuable to you if you travel into those states. But in addition to that, well, first I want to make a point before we move on that you keep mentioning this is how law enforcement should interpret or probably will interpret. And I tell people a lot of times if there's no other criminal intent, there's no other criminal behavior, it's not a question about whether you're transporting something illegal, other than guns, or there's not a DWI, that a lot of times you're not going to find enforcement action. However, this varies by department. It varies by individual officer. So you could find yourself, even if you're acting in good faith, maybe in response to the Heller Act that you referenced, you could still find yourself facing criminal or civil charges, even though you acted in what you thought was good faith. So before we get out of here, I want to make sure you talk about how then US LawShield would help with that. But also, the caller said open carry. And I wanted to talk about not only is your permit valid and valuable when you travel outside of the state for reciprocity, for turning those states blue as far as representation of reciprocity on that visual map, but we have a bit of a misnomer that you don't need a permit in Missouri or a permit doesn't do you any good. That's not really true, is it?
Not at all. A lot of people misquote and they say that, Missouri is a constitutional carry state. We are not a constitutional carry state. Our Constitution was not amended. We actually changed it to a permitless carry state by amending the law. It's actually specifically Missouri Revised Statute 571.030.
Unlawful use
and what
of
the
weapons,
law
right?
says, yes. And what the law says is that it is basically legal to conceal carry a firearm anywhere open carry is not banned. So what that's saying is that municipalities have the right, they have preemption, they have the right to enforce their own ordinances. To my knowledge, to date, there are over 60 municipalities or counties in Missouri that ban open carry. The obvious ones would be like St. Louis County or Kansas City and Jackson County. Open carry is banned. Now, if you have your permit, that would trump that ordinance, and you would be able to conceal and carry or open carry a firearm in those jurisdictions.
So I try to explain this a lot of times in the best way I can to students. I explain that, yeah, there are a lot of places where they've decriminalized carrying without a permit, carrying concealed. However, there can be city ordinances that are more restrictive. And I had a person in fact, they were in the gun shop show group. They said, well, that's an ordinance. That's not a law. That very much is a law in which I spent 5 years as a municipal police officer. I wore a blue uniform with a Glock 22 and a badge, and I took a lot of people to jail for violations of city ordinances. So you can say those aren't ordinances, they didn't get passed by a state legislature, but they are criminal statutes that are enforceable. They may be called ordinances, but if you violate certain city ordinances, you can very much get put in real handcuffs and very much get sent to real world jail for violating those.
Absolutely. An ordinance, a law, federal, state, county, municipal, law enforcement is there to enforce that code, and they will do so.
Absolutely. So let's talk about just quickly some of the benefits of being a member, and then how to become a member for the first time and take advantage of the special offer that you get when you use the Liberty Tree promo code?
Of course. The primary benefit for us is really two things. One is education. We have an endless supply of videos and newsletters, articles, books that help educate our members. That's a benefit. We do live seminars with attorneys and law enforcement. We'll get one down there at Liberty Tree here in the near future when the COVID thing kind of relaxes a little bit. And those are all free benefits for our members. And we even make them very low cost for non-members. But the cornerstone of who we are is unlimited legal representation for any criminal or civil action brought against you. It could be red flag laws or self-defense, accidental discharge, negligence discharge. That's the cornerstone of who we are. Members will never pay a dime for legal representation for a covered event. Now, in order to take advantage of that, the best thing to do is just go directly to uslawshield.com, click on Join Now, and it'll be a very simple form. How many members are you going to sign up? What options do you want? And the key is there's a little promo code in the right-hand corner of the page. Put in Liberty Tree. One word, no spaces.
Yeah, LIBERTYTREE, all one together.
Yep. Your viewers, your listeners are going to get 2 months for free if they sign up for an annual plan. So they're going to get 14 months of coverage for the price of 12. And the big kicker, their price is guaranteed as long as they maintain their membership. Your price will never go up.
That is impressive because the cost of everything else goes up. Cost of living goes up,
right.
But this will never go up. It really is a valuable membership. I have been approached by countless other entities that claim to do similar things to you, but what they are is they're insurance companies, and like so many other insurance companies, they do everything they can to get out of offering the coverage that they want you to believe that they offer. Yours is different. You're not an insurance company. As long as someone isn't, like you said, committing a heinous act, basically guilty of assault or murder, but if they're acting in any reasonable good faith, this membership is for them.
Absolutely. I always say if you're not knocking over a 7-Eleven, we're good.
Yeah, absolutely. Vic, thanks so much for joining us, and thanks for supporting the Gun Shop Show.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Hey everybody, it's Eli at Liberty Tree Guns here at 530 West Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri, and I want to show you a gun collection that we just bought from an individual. A little bit of everything in this one. We wrote a check for 22 guns. Got some newer lever guns, cool Henry Silver Boy, some older shotguns. This is a cool old 410 double barrel. This was a good mix. There was some newer type stuff, some old stuff here, some black powder, some cool Colt, black powder revolvers, newer Rugers, Mark IIIs, PMR 30, Taurus Judge, couple of Taurus revolvers, got a long slide 1911 right here, and then got this cool Llama 45. We just sold the sister to that gun in 38 Super. This particular individual, this is half the collection that we bought from him. And so I just want to remind you that we pay top dollar for entire collection. So we'll buy one gun or 100 from you, and we can offer consignment where we sort of establish what these guns are worth and we pay you out when they sell. Or in the case of this one, we offered consignment, we discussed it, and then we offered a cash price, which was a little bit less than the consignment settlement price, but it's quick. It was one check, and we paid those all out to this individual. And probably the biggest, baddest, coolest one of the whole mix was this Bushmaster BA-50. So we have everything from little antique 22s to 50 cals in this one collection. I want to remind you that we'd love a chance to buy your collection. Find us at libertytreeguns.com or here on Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri. See you soon. The Ruger Security 9 LTO, an exclusive new firearm only from Liberty Tree Guns. This is an affordable pistol that comes with Ruger's renowned reliability and workmanship, and comes with an optic with a 3-year warranty. If you haven't ever shot a pistol with an optic on it, it's a lot of fun and you can really acquire a target quickly. All right, Ruger Security 9 LTO unboxing. So it pretty much obviously comes with everything the Ruger Security 9 would already come with, and this is how they look in the box. Ruger started doing this insert in the box, which is kind of nice. We've had to modify it a little bit to make sure that your optic fits. So there's a cutout so the cover can go on and then the gun can fit right here in that. They come with 2 mags, so a lot of price point guns, you're just getting 1 mag, but you get 2 15-round, OEM mags. A couple little bonuses is the optic comes with the AR mounts. So if you want to pull this optic off and run it on an AR, you've got everything that you need. That's a freebie, just comes in the box. Once we pull this insert out, here's where all the goodies that come with the optic. Got a 3-year warranty on the Firefield optic, the user manual. It has the tools for both mounting the optic if you want to take it off, and also the adjustment screwdriver for the windage and elevation, and then all of the factory information for your pistol. So this is the format that those will come in. And again, guys, remember, this is an option if you are excited to try out an optic on a pistol and you want to do it for a price point. So these at this price are cheaper than some guys are paying for just an optic. You're getting the gun and the optic. You can get the price and all the details at libertytreeguns.com. Just search LTO. We're back. We're back on the Gun Shop Show, and we were just in the process of checking our voicemail.
Yes, sir.
Which is something that we do just about every show. And if you would like to have us answer your question live on TV and radio and the internets, all you have to do is call the number on the screen, which is 208-918-1776. So, give us a call. All right, let's roll the next voicemail. We need to lighten the load on this phone.
It's pretty heavy.
Let me access the...
top secret numbers there.
Yeah, let me access the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure you spin
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Like that, yep.
Yeah. I think that did it.
All right, let's roll it.
Hi, yes. I have a question in reference to ammunition. I recently bought as a personal defense weapon a SIG 9mm, and not being really knowledgeable about ammunition, I understand that there's some that is just like target ammunition and stuff, and then some that I want the, stop them in their tracks ammunition. So can you educate me on that and tell me what I need to ask for when I'm making my ammo purchases, and the difference? Please tell me. I'm not familiar with brass casing, stainless steel casings. Can you just help me out and educate me on the type of ammunition and the benefits of one versus another? Thank you.
You came to the right place.
That's a great question.
That is a good question, and we here at Liberty Tree Guns can answer that for you. There are two major different types of ammunition, and she's correct in the fact that some of it is target ammo.
Yes.
And some of it is self-defense ammo.
Yes.
One part of her question was, what do I ask for? Generally speaking, you're going to ask for some type of hollow points. But you could also, in a store like ours, say, I need some good self-defense ammo. And any qualified salesperson at a gun store, which I recommend going to a good one, like Liberty Tree Guns.
That's the best one.
The best.
So because I've heard crazy things at other big box retailers, like, well, any bullet's going to work. They are dramatically different.
Right.
And we'll explain why. The effect is dramatically different. And so what I have here on camera, if you're watching the live stream, is a round nose bullet. This is target ammo. It's designed to be cheap to shoot. Still going to fly through the air, still going to impact the target in a pretty consistent way. However, you're not getting as much, one, it's not going to be as effective, and it's not designed with 100% reliability in mind. It's designed with cost in mind. So I have a good video that I use in some of my classes to give you a primer on the difference between hollow points and full metal jackets. And Trevor, if we could roll that.
Most handgun bullets are either round nose or hollow point. The round nose is a traditional full metal jacket bullet made to create a bigger hole in the target. The hollow point has a concave depression cut into the tip designed to fragment into pieces. But which has the greater stopping power? The most effective bullet doesn't just punch right through the target. It creates serious internal damage. Let's take to the shooting range to see how each bullet performs. First, the round nose bullet. The round nose penetrates the target and goes right through, leaving a clean exit hole. If this was a bad guy, he'd probably still be firing at the police officer. Next, a hollow point bullet. Watch the container on the left. The bullet totally destroys the target. On the streets, a hollow point gives the officer more chance of stopping the criminal with one shot. The hollow point expands on impact to almost 3 times its size. The expanding effect means that the bullet dumps its power inside the body, damaging more tissue than a normal round nose bullet.
The hollow point is commonly used as an anti-personnel round. It's designed to damage more tissue by opening up similar to a flower, so it has a larger wound channel.
So clearly the design of those two ammunitions is dramatic. And one question I ask in my class, just as a for instance, is, are there any bow hunters in the class? And I ask that almost every concealed carry class when we're talking about these two types of ammunition. And one interesting thing is, in over 5,000 students that I've certified and hundreds of concealed carry classes, guess how many times I've failed to find a bow hunter of deer in class?
I would say 0% of the time.
In this area.
0 time. You take 40 people from Southwest Missouri or Missouri in general, and one of them is a bow hunter every time.
Those are good numbers.
So the question that I ask is, when you are out practicing with your bow, do you use different arrowheads than you use in the field when you're hunting?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right?
And what's the answer to that?
Absolutely.
Gotta be.
Absolutely, you use different ones. So when you're practicing use field tips, what do you use when you are actually trying to take down a deer?
Broadheads.
Right, and those are designed because you just have one chance to to inflict the maximum damage, and that's tissue damage, wound channel, because hunters, and people might not relate to this if they're not into hunting.
Right.
They don't understand that even a hunter who's going to take the life of an animal doesn't want an animal to suffer.
Right.
He wants it to be the cleanest shot that he can, both from just an ethics standpoint, but also from a practicality of wanting to be able to make sure he doesn't lose that deer, doesn't fail to have the chance to harvest it. But those two things, they fly about the same. They work out of the bow about the same. But one is way more effective, and the other is way more practical for practice because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
So that's what you get when you're talking about essentially Full Metal Jacket. The video references round nose, which is another name for it, but a lot of people are going to call that FMJ. And I'm holding it up to the camera. What that means is it has a full metal jacket. So instead of having a concave, hollow point, it has a jacket that covers the entirety, which keeps that projectile from expanding. Now, within hollow points, there are varying degrees of effectiveness. One of our favorite ones here at Liberty Tree Guns is Liberty ammunition that we stock regularly. And I have another video, Trevor, if you can stage that one, of ballistics gel to kind of give you an idea. And for the radio listener, I'll try to describe this the best you can. The last video obviously is better with a visual aid of the milk jug exploding when he shot it, but you could still get the point, and it dumps its power into that. But if you can cue that ballistics gel video, I'll kind of explain what's happening as that projectile flies through the air, impacts the target. So ballistics gel is a clear material that is similar in consistency to a body, a human or an animal. And it allows us to have a visualization of what happens when the projectile impacts a target. And this is Liberty ammunition hitting ballistics gel. You see it impacts this clear square of somewhat flexible gel and creates a massive disturbance and tears through that, similar to what I kind of picture as like a mushroom cloud from an atomic bomb. And it does that by, as the projectile hits the target, it opens up and transfers all that velocity and all that kinetic energy of a bullet flying through the air. Kinetic energy just being the weight times the velocity of something that's moving. It's just like when a football player goes to tackle it. The bigger and the faster they're moving, the meaner the tackle, and that's the same thing with ammunition. So we'll come back, we'll finish answering the question right here on the Gun Shop Show.
Huge cave found beneath the heart of the city. Spelunkers shared tales of an underground cavern system in Carthage, Missouri. Locals report the entrance at 10th and Garrison.
Cave Gang Pizza. Stop in and enjoy wings, wood-fire pizza made with local ingredients, and our full bar. Bring the whole gang and uncover a legend.
The Gun Shop Show costs money to make, and the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by pecans and cheese. Not really. Actually, we didn't have any sponsors for this segment, and so I decided that I would take a snack break. And also, I decided if you guys are tired of listening to me eat cheese and nuts, that you need to buy an ad. So from now on, if our ad sponsorships don't sell out, you're going to have to listen to me eat nuts and cheese. In order to sponsor the Gun Shop Show, send us an email at thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Next week, chips.
Good morning, Four States. This is John Hart, and welcome to the Gun Shop Show. I am the owner of the gun company of Joplin, and I'm here to give you an update at the Andersons estate. Follow me. We're now starting on the staircase. This will be done by the next time you guys come over and visit us. As you can see, the deck is almost complete. We put in the Brazilian cherry in the bands. It's really looking nice, guys. Today we're going to be focusing on the rails, putting in a cable rail. You guys got to come back and watch this. It's an awesome process. We're taking down the bridge and we're going to replace that. If you guys need a free estimate, call me 417-629-7886. Thanks again for joining us.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. I'm your host, Eli Bruton, coming to you from the sales floor of my store, which is Liberty Tree Guns, which we aim to be the best gun store in the world. And if we fail to be the best one in the world, we'll at least guarantee to be your friends in the gun business. It's the least we can do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And we work hard every week to bring you free content here on the Gun Shop Show.
Quality content.
We think it's quality.
Good content.
I mean, it's content.
Yeah, it's something.
Let's just say it's something.
I've seen worse, Eli.
It's on the TV screen.
I'm pretty sure you showed me worse just today.
Yeah, I did. That's so cringy.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't get past the whole pictures on a background of Mars.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be out of this world?
I don't. So
what are you guys talking about?
Okay. So there was a particular gun that we might needed to cover on the show. So I'm sifting through YouTube videos thinking, let's find something that covers this particular gun.
Gotcha.
Well, I clicked on one because I was looking for one that's 2 minutes, 3 minutes or less. I find the only one on this gun that's short. And it's 3 solid minutes of this woman posing. I guess she was trying to be seductive, but it just looked awkward.
Yeah, it didn't look good at all.
It was not.
It's bad.
So she's kind of like, I couldn't show it. Like, literally, to keep this a family-friendly show, I could not show this thing. Maybe we'll drop it in the deep, dark comments of the Gun Shop Show Facebook group for people that are dying to see what we're talking about. But it was difficult.
It was atrocious.
And then after she gets done, like, it looked like, when someone fake makes out with themselves, but she had the gun in between her arms, and then there was like still photos of her that go floating by, and there's a red landscape in the background. I'm not sure if it was Mars.
It looked like. I mean, it was red. I would say it was.
It looked like to me like where Wile E. Coyote does his.
Oh yeah. I think there was a fake tunnel painted on one of those mesas.
All right, guys, we need to get back to checking the voicemail because this thing we have only barely lightened the load. This thing, I would say it's a good 47 kilograms.
I was gonna say 50, but
50 kilograms. Yeah, that's like 2,000 pounds, right?
I think it's 1,500 pounds.
Yeah,
it's somewhere around there.
That's the math on that.
You have to divide by 2. Then
hey guys, I have an idea.
Yeah,
we should just spend the last part of this doing metric to English conversions.
Yeah, let's do that. That's our.
Who doesn't want to hear that? Yeah, our other show. It's been 2 hours. It's like, what's 33 millimeters in inches?
Yeah, let's save that and let's continue doing the Gun Shop Show instead.
I like that idea. Oh man, it looks like some of your basketball moves.
Oh, you've seen those. You've heard about those.
Was that No Mercy voicemail?
That's
checking?
No Mercy voicemail. People don't know about No Mercy Mondays.
They don't. You hadn't told anybody until now.
Yeah. Well,
let's keep it on the down low though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's roll voicemail number 3.
Hey guys, this is Alan from Joplin. I'm looking for a gun with light recoil, and I've been thinking about getting a 380, but I'm not sure if 380 is a powerful enough round for self-defense, and I wasn't sure what options are out there in 380. You guys help me out?
I think we can.
Help out Alan.
You know
from
what?
Joplin.
You know what would be good?
Mm-hmm.
If we had like a gun store with options.
You know anybody?
You know what?
What?
We are in a gun store right now.
What?
Wait a minute.
Let's get out the mobile cam.
Oh, we're going mobile.
We're going mobile.
Going mobile.
Right now.
We're going to get her fired up here.
On the mobile cam, which, by the way, is a massive sponsorship opportunity.
That's right.
We're in talks. I can't leak names, but...
Yeah, it definitely doesn't start with an I and end in con.
Nope. They quit making scopes.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. It's sad.
But
really sad.
What we have is the mobile cam, and we would like to make it brought to you by one of our proud sponsors. So one of the folks we believe in is going to snatch up that opportunity to be the exclusive sponsor of the mobile cam. But Alan is waiting. So fire that thing up. Let me check it. Oh, cool. Yeah, a close up of the floor. Oh, that was a dirty table.
The table, the dirty table.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's working.
Yep.
Hey, look, it's Trevor. Hey, look at the machine gun. Okay. So if you are wondering why I keep saying, hey, look, it's this, and referencing a thing, because you're listening on the radio or you're checking out our sweet podcast on one of the many popular podcast platforms, what's happening is we have a live stream of this whole thing where you can watch video, you can watch it live, you can watch it after the fact, and you get to see the things that we talk about. Right now we have a mobile cam. Logan, who happens to own cordless headphones, can take this and run with it. However, he doesn't have a mobile microphone, so we can talk about him. He can't talk about us. So go. Logan, take us to the 380 so we can get to answering Alan's question. And while he is on the run, I'm going to tell you about, is 380 powerful enough of a round? So I always want to tell you, no, nothing's powerful enough. Carry the most powerful thing you can, with the idea that you have to conceal this thing on your person all the time. And so if you can carry 33 rounds of 45 ACP, that's what you want to do. However, most people can't. Most people need to consider recoil. They need to consider concealability. And 380 is actually a pretty formidable round for self-defense. And Trevor, I hate to put you on the spot, but I want to try to switch to this camera right here, knuckle cam. And let me show you these two cartridges. I have one 380 and one 9mm. And for radio listeners, you're just going to have to picture this. But those are, whoop, somebody should have called me out. I wasn't on screen. Those are two very similar cartridges. In fact, they have the exact same bullet diameter. They're the same around. In fact, in Europe, 380 is referred to as 9mm short or 9mm Kerrs because it's the same size hole that it's going to punch in something. Now, the casing is not as long, so you don't get quite as much velocity or as much speed out of the bullet, but is still very formidable and been proven to be a lethal threat stopping caliber. Yes, it doesn't have as much stopping power as a 9 or 40 or 45, but there are many great firearms that are low recoil and are good options. So,
I'm sure if you pair that with the hollow point, it increases its
exactly. Great
impact.
Point. Ties back into that other question. Oh, and that reminds me, I have one more point for that caller. The other thing that you get when you buy good quality hollow points like Hornady or Liberty Defense, you're not only paying for the style of bullet that is designed to do maximum damage, but you're also paying for quality control. Those are handled with stringent manufacturing processes to guarantee that every single round goes bang, every single round is maximum effective because there's not any issues with low powder or bad crimping.
Yeah.
And so the odds of getting a so-called dud or bad round or a squib load is much lower in a quality hollow point like Hornady Critical Defense or Corbon or Federal Hydroshocks or Liberty Ammunition,
right?
Comparatively. So, but back to the issue of 380 firearms and the options. Logan is panning over several. Get close to those, Logan, and I'll read them off. One that's in stock right now is the Walther CCP. This is going to be not a micro pistol. It's still very slim, very comfortable in the hand. However, it is not a tiny pistol, so you have enough that your whole hand would fit on it. The M2 style grip on the Walther is super ergonomic. It just feels like it's made for your hand instead of being kind of blocky like some pistols. That is a good low recoil concealed carry option for someone that that needs personal defense but doesn't have an appetite for a lot of snap. All right, on to the next one. The Smith & Wesson 380 Shield EZ. This has been a super popular gun. It is popular for some of the same reasons as the Walther. It's not a micro pistol, but it has some features that make a huge difference. And one is the EZ stands for an easy slide. So it's designed to be really easy to pull back the slide, which is something that people that have an aversion to recoil, oftentimes it's because they don't have as much strength in their hands from arthritis, from stature, from an injury. And so the strength aspect of being able to pull back the slide is something that people struggle with. So this is a good firearm for shooters that are concerned with that. The slide comes back super easy. It's got a grip safety as well as a thumb safety. Super good option and a very affordable price point at $499. If you're listening on the radio, know that we're running out of time. It's crazy how we had a 1 hour show, radio station says, give us 2 hours to make a 2 hour show, and then we still run out of time.
Right.
But we're going to keep going. We're going to come back in the overflow. So the radio can't stick with us all the time. So when the show ends on the radio, go to facebook.com, type in Liberty Tree Guns. You'll see the live video. We'll still be cooking right here, answering the rest of our voicemails, lightening the load on the voicemail phone, breaking down these 380 pistols. Here on the screen now is a couple of Browning Black Label Micro 1911. So 1911s are a super popular platform and have been for over 100 years. You can get them in a light recoil 380. We have a few more voicemails to check and some overflow. We're still talking about the use of force. Join us on the live stream of the Gun Shop Show. Hey, podcast listeners and live stream viewers. I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership, and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters. And it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. And here's some photos of my trips to Colorado that we took in our RV from Mid-America RV. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory, and they are home of the lifetime RV warranty. So I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. And as you can see, they have a large inventory selection of trailers and fifth wheels, and they specialize in those. They don't carry any motorhomes or anything like that. So if you are in the market for a tow-behind RV of any size, from a little teardrop to a full-size trailer, I urge you to check out Mid-America RV. Now, we weren't sent any promotional material, so we decided, and this is from genuinely from my personal experience. There's a trip of me in Colorado in my Surveyor that I got from Mid-America RV, and so we decided we would make our own commercial for these guys since we believe in them so much. So, Trevor, I assume that you are prepared with material, right?
I'm going to jingle on the spot.
That you didn't make one ahead of time.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
All right.
And I'm actually a little nervous right now.
Can you put it on the lot?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it.
Let's refresh. And here we go.
They may not appreciate this.
Mid-America RV, the San Francisco treat.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm not so hot at the making up of stuff, so I borrow from other people.
Okay, well, the point is Mid-America RV will treat you right. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV.
Land is everything to me. When I was born, I was brought home to the family farm, was raised, learned work ethic there, learned appreciation and respect for life and the land itself, and it just became second nature. I had to be there all the time. Whenever I wasn't on the land, I was not happy. But I learned to understand the land, learned to respect it, learned family values. My wife and I have bought a farm besides the one we live on, and it has just been it's been a great investment, and it's been someplace that my son and I have shared the passion of hunting together, and it's just land has been everything in my life. It has kind of kept me focused and gave me a place to be. It's kind of kept me grounded.
People are always asking me, Eli, you seem to get the best deals on things. What is your secret?
Glory actions and estate sales.
Trevor, I appreciate you jingling, but I have to say the ad part first because people need to know about the company.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do that.
And then also, it's it's covering up my face. So
right.
just get a picture like from their Facebook page, because that's the best place, and then just put it right up here where the Gun Shop Show logo is. Okay.
All right, I'll do better this
time.
Then
so let me finish the ad, and then you can jingle. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the best place to go is their Facebook page.
Oh, glory actions and estate sales.
You know what? Fine. I'll just move in between the graphics and finish telling people that the best place to find out when
Old Glory actions and estate sales. I think I got it that time, man.
Hey, you know what makes this, the Gun Shop Show, possible? It's people who believe in the show. And someone who has believed in the show from the very beginning is my good friend Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply. Here's a message from Chris.
Guys, my name's Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply, and I just want to take a few seconds here to let you know that we are going to be proud sponsors of the Gun Shop Show, and we appreciate everything that them guys are doing over there, and we just want to show them our support. Thank you.
So whether you have 2 chickens or 2,000 acres, Chris is your man. Give him a call. I guess that's pretty much the ad.
Whitehead Farm Supply.
Seriously?
Always.
Back on the Gun Shop Show. One of my favorite places to be honest with you.
The Overflow?
The Overflow.
Party time?
The show itself.
Party time.
You know,
excellent.
I listened.
You just made a Wayne's World reference.
I did.
I
had to.
I've never done anything like this.
What's that?
Have a show.
Have friends.
Oh, really?
Have friends.
You have this is your first show?
This is my first show. Yeah.
First time?
This is the first
Wow.
TV show. You know,
I remember my first show.
Yeah. So over the 4th of July weekend, we went out of town in our new camper, which, by the way, I need to talk about something real quick.
Okay.
This camper I got from our sponsor, Mid-America RV, which they're cut above other dealers. That's why I choose to have them be our sponsor. But they've got a special right now that you definitely need to know about.
Oh, yeah?
Their special this year, this month, for the month of July, is you buy any RV or sign any commitment, and I think there's some other things that qualify, but when you do business with them, you get a gift card, $50, to either Liberty Tree or Cave Gang Pizza and Pub, free.
You say $50?
$50.
Now, was that an either situation?
I think you get to pick.
Oh.
Yeah, you get to pick. It's either one. And it's funny because I have split of how people know me. And,
Right.
You know, it goes one way or the other. Like, you're the Cave Gang Pizza and Pub guy.
Right.
Or you are the Liberty Tree Guns guy. But anyway, the story was I was out of town, got to take our RV out for the first time, which is something I very much enjoy. It's kind of a little more at home than staying in a hotel room or something, because it's all your stuff. It's all the same. You know, the setting is different, but where you lay your head at night is the same, which is what I appreciate about RVing. But I was the point of this whole story. The point of this whole story is I was pulled into my camp spot, get out. This guy pulls in. He's from Illinois, backs a motorhome in, and we just make small talk, introduce ourselves. And he says, "What do you do for a living?"
Yeah.
And I changed my answer for the first time in years.
Yeah, what was it?
You know, normally I would say I sell guns. I have a gun store.
Yeah.
You know what I told him? I just because for fun.
You're the host of a show?
I said, I got my own TV show.
I'm on TV.
I'm like, you ever seen Tool Time? I mean, it's fictional, but but that was a show about a guy that has a show, and you're talking to a guy that has a show, and
now we need to make a show about
making
you
the show.
making the show.
Yeah,
the Gun Shop Show.
That would be a good idea.
The Gun Shop Show.
I like that. Anyway, we need your help spreading the word of the Gun Shop Show, and you
That's
do
right.
that by sharing the feed.
Share it.
You can do that by encouraging people to join the Gun Shop Show fan group.
That's right.
You just go to Facebook, type in the Gun Shop Show, and you get behind the scenes info. You also get to be kind of a part of shaping the show.
That's right.
But another thing that we need your help with is, one, we've taken on a few more sponsors, and what sponsors do is we help get some exposure for the business by making some ads. A lot of times we make them funny. That's how you want them. We put them in the show, in the live stream, and which helps them reach like-minded customers.
Right.
But also, we take that sponsorship and we roll it back into growing the show, because we're going for it.
We're not going regional.
No.
We're not going national.
You know what? When
We're going places.
we're going platinum.
Platinum Plus.
Platinum Plus.
I was thinking that maybe we were going
Bring me that bat.
Universal.
Yeah,
What do
you guys brought light up
You need
bats.
yeah,
those are
we're
light
talking
up
about the
wiffle ball bats.
lightsabers?
Yeah. Those are light up wiffle ball bats, right? From Star Trek?
We are talking about the use of the Force right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I just need one.
Show them how you use the Force, man.
How
show
do you
them your
how
Force
do you
moves.
light up the wiffle ball bat?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
But you can't even tell that thing's green right now.
No, it's lit up green.
It just looks like a real lightsaber.
So what I got this bat out for was I was going to tell you what we're doing with. Just keep going.
Yeah, man.
That's how long it is.
Have you never used a lightsaber before, man?
I have never used the lightsaber.
You're
I
gonna wanna
wasn't
watch Star Wars.
I was not a huge Star Trek fan. I know that William Shatner is involved.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
The Captain Picard.
Yeah, he played Obi-Wan Picard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And so that's all I know
Captain Obi-Wan.
about space battle.
Yeah.
So anyway, when we're up to the plate with the Gun Shop Show,
yeah,
we're not pointing down here.
No.
You know,
We're Babe Ruth in it.
we're Babe Ruth in it, and
That's
we're
right. Going all the way.
we're pointing out of the park, which means we want to come to a radio station near you or TV station near you. So if you're listening and you are outside the viewership of News Talk KZRG or KODE 12 or KSGF Springfield, and you're like, you know what, I got this station where they have talk radio or TV, let us know in the comments. I need to know, especially if you have a contact there. Like, I know a guy that works at this station.
Yeah, get your TV guy to call us.
Yeah, get him in here. We want to do it. We're willing to bet on ourselves.
That's right.
Because we're going for it. But
we're going to be the best.
Yeah.
Around. No one is ever going to get us down.
No. And you know what? If I get knocked down, you know what I do?
We'll help you back up.
You're going to get back up again?
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
If I get knocked down,
you get back up again.
Yeah,
every time.
And nothing's going to keep me down.
I would hope not.
But
if
I get knocked down, I get up again.
Yeah.
Never going to keep me down.
Well, I would hope not. Not if you got back up again.
Right.
Because we're the best
around.
We're the only.
No one. No.
We are
you know
the
what?
only.
You know what? Nothing's ever going to keep us down.
Nothing's going to keep us down. I mean, if we get knocked down, we'll just get up again.
Right. You know, at least that's what my my mom's used to tell me. She's like, Trevor, if you ever get knocked down, you get back up again.
Well, did your dad tell you that?
No, he didn't say much.
My dad told me the same thing.
Well, yeah, there was that whole deal where like he wasn't there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like at your house?
No, he just wasn't.
Every day.
Ever.
My mom would be proud of me.
Yeah, but if I ever get knocked down,
yeah,
I'm just gonna get back up again.
If only there was a shirt like that.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Or,
Eli, that
or some
reminds
kind
me.
of,
My dad used to tell me that.
thing that goes
He's
on.
like, Logan, if you ever get knocked down,
you get
probably deserved it.
Yeah, had it coming.
Yeah,
He's
'cause
like, why
that's
don't you
kinda-
get your knocked down guy to take care of that for you?
He's like, you're the kind of guy that's gonna get knocked
He's
down.
like, well, you are my descendant, so you probably deserved it.
He's like, get used to it, son.
Yeah, you're gonna get knocked down.
Also, you're going to meet a guy named Trevor, not going to have a dad. Never bring it up.
Yeah, and he's gonna bring it up all the
lot.
time.
He's gonna make it weird.
You know what's funny, Eli? Logan's like, I said something to Logan about, what do you got going on this weekend? He's like, oh, we're gonna get together with the family and we're gonna shoot some fireworks. I was like, oh, well, I guess my invite got lost in the mail. And he's like, yeah, well, there's gonna be dads there, so you probably wouldn't feel comfortable.
You'd be out of your element. The listener.
Oh, I love it.
The listener is sitting at home feeling so uncomfortable.
Right.
You guys, imagine if this show was happening when Trevor was still fat.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
we're going to bring that up.
Just imagine this face, but
balloonier.
Yep. If I'm laying the dad stuff on, imagine the overweight ones.
Yeah, you know what I wish we could have done? Somehow knew we were going to do this show.
Get
and
some footage.
Did cutaways of you while you were big.
Well, I mean, I have photos.
Let's try those. Fat Trevor says.
I don't know, man. Like, I kind of I've always been fit. That's the way I am.
You don't
now.
like
I've
that.
always
You
known
still
Trevor
try to
fit.
make fat jokes. You still try to pull that
Only to
card.
the people that know.
Yeah, I've only ever known
Not to
Trevor
complete
fit.
strangers.
No.
Fat Trevor?
That's not true.
Completely unknown to me.
Oh, that's right. Logan doesn't. He'd never seen it.
That's true.
He never seen it.
Yeah. Well, let me tell
I
you.
haven't seen it.
Tell him.
He was making me uncomfortable from when he first started working here.
Yeah.
I would say like, hey man, I have some extra whatever, pasta salad. And he would be like, 'cause I'm fat? Like, no, because I was trying to be nice.
Give it to the fat guy.
And you're like, 'cause you think I'd eat a lot of pasta 'cause I'm fat? and we didn't know each other that good.
Right. Well, that's just the way it is, man.
Let's check the voicemail.
Hey,
Yeah, let's
hey,
move on.
I have one thing that I want to tell you because I made this special for you. And I feel like
we
it's
didn't
not
get to it.
We didn't get to it.
Oh, yeah,
but,
that's what
you
the
know,
overflow's for.
Let's go back to the
What even is the overflow at this point?
the McClaskiskis or whatever
Yeah,
they're called.
This is the two attorneys in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So don't
And-
tread on me.
Right.
I just
saw
wanted
this
a
meme,
grill.
and I thought this is hilarious. Awesome idea for a new T-shirt.
Yeah.
You know how we have that Gadsden snake one?
Right.
We need an updated version, a la our times. Let me find it here. There it is.
Oh my goodness.
I would
Isn't
wear
that excellent?
in a heartbeat.
Could we do that with our provider?
With our printer? Yes, we could. Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. You're only getting this in the overflow. If someone tells me they will literally buy this shirt, we'll make this shirt. Only one person has to buy this.
I'll buy the shirt.
Logan will buy the shirt.
Live. I will buy the shirt.
You're committing right now.
I'll wear
okay.
it. I'll wear it live.
Let me get two. Go get two shirts and let me hear
We
two
gotta sell
shirts.
two.
Let me hear
about
three
three
shirts.
shirts.
3 shirts and 4 shirts.
I hear 5 shirts.
One time I was putting on an event,
Mm-hmm.
and I had an auctioneer scheduled for every hour throughout the whole event.
Like a different one?
No, it's the same auctioneer, but
Oh,
every
okay.
hour he's supposed to go up on stage and do a little auction.
Right.
Auctioning off bricks of 22 ammo.
Mhm.
And this is like midway through the second day, he just leaves and doesn't tell me. And so I had to get up on the stage and do these auctions myself, which I'd never done. And I didn't know, like, I don't know how to do the auctioneer chant. So, you know, I'm like starting at $10 and it just sounded like filler, you know? So I thought, why? I don't know how they do that. So, but I'll just make filler. So I just got up there and I was like, starting at $10, neener, 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 do I hear $12, neener, 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 neener.
Well, let's be honest, Eli. Pretty much the same,
right?
Like, it's not like they're saying anything that's important.
No.
They're just saying how much it is.
No.
Then they're just saying it gibberish style.
Right.
And then if somebody wants to bet more, that's the new thing they say.
Yeah.
Why do they do it like that?
So it actually creates, this is something that only a marketer would research and find out, but it creates a sense of urgency in the bidder. So because there's no gap, there's no time for cool reflection, it feels like the numbers are changing, and the numbers might not actually be changing. So it's just 40, do I hear 45, and you're thinking, oh shit, it's oh,
we're overflow, bro.
Sorry, I don't normally even do that, but
I know.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's gonna have to put a PG-13 on the podcast this week. You're thinking, oh crap, we're at 42, we're at 43, when in reality he's going from 40 to 50. But you're just hearing, oh, I think I missed something. I better get my hand in the air.
See, that's how flustered it makes people. They want to buy stuff.
It's just they're not gonna lose, and that's what that creates. The other thing that I'm not really sure the point of, but auctioneers I have noticed, is they also have to say the numbers differently.
What do you mean differently? Like a 41, a 41, is it a 41? And I don't know 42.
Wait, like,
is it
so
a 42?
And then you're getting to the end when the bid has plateaued, you're not seeing any new ones.
Right.
And they're like 41, we give me a 42, and I got a 43, and I got a 45, and I got a 45, and a 45, 45, 45, and sold. And I don't know why they say it like that, but a lot of them do.
Yeah. Well, I bet it's way more entertaining than just like, all right, who wants to do 40?
Yeah, give me
you.
There's some of that. There's just some fanfare.
Yeah.
But that just gave me an idea. Like, we should come up with new styles of auctioneering. You know, where they can incorporate something else. Like maybe incorporate opera.
Oh, yeah. Like, who wants 40? 40, 40, 40.
And I'll need cash now.
It's not really working out with the my opera.
Yeah, but like someone that can actually sing opera, that would probably work.
I don't want to be known as the guy who can sing opera on a gun shop show, so I'm underselling the opera
But
voice.
maybe you could do Christopher Walken.
Oh, I can't do Christopher Walken as that.
As an auctioneer.
I wouldn't. I got one Christopher Walken in me, and that's documents. Wait a minute.
Wait,
I threw some Sean Connery.
Like Sean Connery does.
Here we go. Sean Connery
does Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken as Sean Connery in. Or I don't even know as Sean as 007.
Yeah.
In. I don't know.
Yeah.
Third Rock. I don't know what
So it's a Sean Connery biopic played by Christopher Walken. So he's playing
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery playing 007.
Documents.
Documents.
It's not working.
In auctioneering.
This is how we entertain people.
This is not. There's probably no one left watching this.
I mean, I'm sure the numbers are pretty bad right now. Thank you to everyone for hanging out this long.
This has been fun, and we're not even done yet.
No, we still got
another voicemail.
more voicemail.
Yeah, and let's check checking the voicemail, and this is still heavy, but it's not as heavy as it was.
Gosh, look at that shot right there.
That looks
Hell's
pretty.
good at that. It's even got this should be the shot for the phone number.
It should be. It should say
the Gun Shop Show phone should have its own camera.
And if you want to leave a voicemail, all you have to do is call the number on the screen, which is
208 918 1776.
That's the number you call.
That's freedom.
And call it now.
And a phone number.
Call it now.
Hey,
someone's calling it now, aren't they?
I'm gonna be unprofessional and ask you guys
what one we're on. Yeah,
I know which one we're on.
Okay,
that's what show notes are for.
Yeah, that's every week.
This is why we write this stuff down.
Hours preparing the show
we're
notes.
on number 4.
Yeah, we're on number 4.
We're on number.
John.
I wonder if I should start saving the show notes.
Like, The printed ones?
Yeah, I thought, what, someday.
I've saved all of mine.
I've got.
You're not saving the show notes.
No.
I'm disappointed.
I'm sorry. I should. I got my notes on them.
Look, I mean, hey.
I write down on there when I'm frustrated with Trevor.
Yeah, I would. It's probably like, I hate Trevor.
The whole, like, all of the notes on it are just frustrations with Trevor.
Look
They have
how
nothing to do with the
professional we
show.
are, guys.
That'd be awesome.
This is how professional
This is what you're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is what I'm seeing while I'm doing the show.
The crazy thing is we make a 2-hour show out of barely any notes.
Most of this is template stuff.
Before we had like 4 pages to make 45 minutes, and now we put like 6 words on the paper, and we're like into 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
and only 3 of the words make it onto the actual show.
Yeah, just so you know, if you leave a voicemail, we try to get all of that week's ones in the show, but at sometimes we're 3 hours in, and we don't get to it. Doesn't mean that we're not going to, though.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that we don't care about you.
We care about you.
We care deeply.
You know, it's fun. It might seem like we're just joking around, but actually, it's super cool to be a part of this with you guys and have the fans.
Absolutely.
I agree.
And stories that you guys share about watching it with introducing someone new to it. I mean, it's we've been flying by the seat of our pants to create a show, and we don't have a producer. All of this that you see here is done by us. We built this stack of ammo cans. We borrowed these microphones from the radio station. We set up these cameras. We plugged them into a regular old computer that's got 15-year-old hardware in it. We just recently were able to upgrade it. And all of this, all of the show writing, the having the lights and the guests and the cutaways and the intro and like all that stuff, we're making it here. And I don't know about you guys, but at times I'm like, we may be doing all this for no reason.
Yeah.
And but then
our
fans come
That's
in
right.
and they're like, hey, love it. They give us the comments, give us the feedback.
Yeah.
You know, we even have people that are so let's say bought in, they like it so much that they want to sponsor it and make it more possible so we can keep going, which has breathed some extra new energy into the show. So all jokes aside, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Well, means
a lot.
On top of that topic, I've been to a lot of concerts, and I always hear the acts thank the fans, and sometimes it feels superficial seeing them on stage and you're out there in the audience and, but you can't do it without the fans.
No,
we enjoy it. We want you to be a part of the show. That's why we created the group.
Yeah, and then you can do some of the nonsense we've been doing, but it won't do any good. It won't go on TV if it wasn't for people liking it and sharing it and making it all possible. So thank you.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Hey, before we do that, so the biggest downside of having wireless headset is that the batteries die.
Oh, is that what's happening right now?
I need to change my batteries real quick.
Is that? Yeah. We'll come change your batteries, man. We'll play that next voicemail.
Yeah, we'll play it. And
I mean, we could at least talk because we need Logan on the mobs, right?
Logan on the mobs.
Yeah. Well, just so the audience knows, we just made a huge upgrade in our tech equipment. And should helpfully keep any of the picks and humbars from our show. Here comes Logs. Here he comes.
That was quick. Are you looking for batteries, bro?
Yeah, batteries are...
Oh, he's got a special battery
he's
pack.
got backups.
Okay, so, yeah, I bought a computer when Trevor started working here. How many years ago?
5, I believe.
And at that time, we thought, we were on a budget.
Right.
And so we bought stuff that was already a few years old. And now we're working with stuff that's not the best. So even though we're making a TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, TV, bro.
I know.
If when you're watching the feed and you see more like... That's the computer is overloaded.
Yeah, we were peaking out, man. We were hitting high 9s at one point.
It is like, hey guys, I'm just a regular computer. I'm not the kind of stuff they have at a TV station.
Right. Which we heard today, not nearly as beautiful as it looks on the TV.
No, we heard, one of the things, I don't know if we even got to, but our guest, Austin Petersen, worked in Fox News and in the buildings in New York City, and he said some of the areas of the building were nice, like where they filmed the show, but he said the bathrooms were...
Gaping holes in the door.
Yeah, they had to drape toilet paper over the gaps between the stall doors because he said you could. I hope he's. I don't think he meant we couldn't talk about this.
Right.
He said that you could walk out the bathroom and make eye contact with Bill O'Reilly while he's taking a crap.
Oh man, that's great.
And yeah. So
he also said the CNN building wasn't that great either.
Yeah, he said it was trash, and I've heard that before, like tiny little rooms, and I've heard that some famous shows, like they have a rat infestation.
Right. Oh. Well, I mean, that's the magic of TV, right? And they only have to dress up what's behind the camera.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
That
on the other side of Eli,
I know it looks
landfill.
good. I know this area looks really good to you guys, but it's not. That's the magic of TV. I know you like having that blind spot happen, but it's just, it's a camera trick. My forehead isn't really that shiny.
It's always that shiny.
This is what it looks like on the other side of the camera.
Yeah. This. That's whenever we turn
actually just kidding about that.
When he turned the mobile cam on, it was on the table. I thought it was a dirty floor. It's just a table that he's sitting at.
Hey, the table they gave me.
Yeah, we should get back to this phone thing.
Yeah, what are we doing?
What is happening right now? All right, let's try.
We're on voicemail number 4. Here we go, fellas.
Let's roll it.
We need that extra shot there, Eli.
Oh yeah, you don't want to have things mislabeled. There
Hello
we go.
to the guys of the Gun Shop Show. I have a question. I was recently in Liberty Tree Guns in Carthage, Missouri. I'm from Carthage. With all the stuff going on in the world today, have become really interested in purchasing a firearm for personal protection. But man, talk about the selection of guns in there. And so my husband and I were kind of wondering, what's the biggest, ugliest, nastiest, meanest, firearm that you have in there that you can sell over the counter to the public? I'm just kind of curious. I wanted to know that because, boy, was there quite a selection. And I'm no connoisseur on guns, but there were some, badass-looking guns in there. So let me know. Thanks.
Good thing we're in the overflow.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, we definitely have plenty of BA guns that you can walk out the door with.
So I've been telling all of the radio and TV stations that they had nothing to worry about. Everything's super G-rated.
Right.
And then I think that we had that one word twice.
No, the one you said earlier?
No, that's one.
That was one. Then she just dropped an A-bomb, but we also had our guest earlier.
A-bomb.
Yeah. And which it wasn't one of the 7 that we couldn't say, right?
No, it's not
I listed
banned.
all those off too.
And I told.
What were the 7 again?
Yeah, could you list them off again?
Yeah, it's beep, 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 beep.
I almost forgot about beep.
Yeah, but there's a secret 8th verse.
8th one? A secret 8th one?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I could make up cuss words.
Beep on your beep.
That's like the supercalifragilistic of curse words. Yeah.
No one knows about it, but it's
she asked, "What's the biggest, baddest gun?" Mm-hmm. Sorry, guys, I was trying to get better reception.
It's okay. You connected to that metal plate in your head.
Yeah,
that's why it's so shiny.
That's
why
it's
so smooth.
Like platinum plus.
That's why his forehead's so bright. Is it's smooth from that metal plate?
That's right. It's reflective.
There's a piece of skin draped over.
Yeah, actually, it's concave. That's how I use it to catch shoplifters. So I can see.
Well, I thought maybe it was concave, so you could use it as a way to refract. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Refract.
Refract right.
Words are hard.
Refract it.
I have a gun in mind. I'm curious if you are going to gravitate toward it. So I'm just going to fire up the camera.
Fire it up.
Just fire up the mobile cam. Fire it up. Fire it up.
Fire it up.
Fire it up. There it is. Okay. and just start walking to one of the biggest, baddest guns. And now we got machine guns. I got a Vickers machine gun sitting right over here, but there's one that is actually kind of affordable. Hey, everybody say hi to Tim.
The new guy.
That's not it. That is not it. But good. Okay. So, just beware. You come in the store, your thighs are going to get seen.
That's like the cricket from Men in Black, that little gun right there.
Hey, looky there. Look at this thing. This is one of the biggest, baddest guns that's actually pretty attainable. This is the Noreen Firearms ULR-50. It's a 50 BMG single-shot sniper rifle. 50 BMG consistently fired at 1.5, almost in some cases. Some shooters can reach these things out to 2 miles. I can't. I'm not that talented.
I can do it.
Of a long-range shooter. You can do that?
Yeah, maybe I'll show you one of these days, man.
Okay, I'm interested. Where's the bolt? Someone take the bolt?
How you going to have a successful BMG if you ain't got no bolt?
I'm going to with no bolt action.
Oh, don't show them where it's at, man.
Oh, look at that.
Well, no, it's no secret.
Hey, wait
anymore.
a minute. Wait, whoa, bro, stop. I could not see the end of that casing. I thought you were getting ready to stick a live round in there. Okay. Let me jump in on this conversation.
Okay.
So what I have is 50. Caller's gonna want to know.
We need some juxtaposition on that.
Yeah. You want to see?
Yeah. What size is it compared to a telephone handset?
Okay.
If we had one nearby.
Yeah.
There we go.
Look at that.
It's over like 3/4.
Here.
Let me get you a ruler.
How about an ink pen?
Oh, ink pen works.
Look at that.
That is an ink pen.
Here, do this shot over here. 50 BMG. That's what it looks like.
Now, does BMG stand for what I would think it stands for?
What do you think it stands for?
Big mother gun?
No.
Oh.
Doesn't stand for body mass.
Gun?
Girth. Look, I'm holding it up to 50 BMG versus 9mm. That's the contrast.
Jeez.
50 BMG stands for 50 Browning machine gun.
Now, is that are those tank piercing rounds? Is that what that's for?
It would be either anti-personnel round or to stop like an armored vehicle or take out equipment.
Right.
But
I'd almost have to because, that thing ain't firing quickly.
Well, this particular instance, this would be a sniper type weapon.
Right.
And this is a single shot, which a lot of 50 cals are. But the benefit of this, I didn't even get into the Noreen versus other 50 cals, is generally you're starting at $4,000.
Yeah.
If you want to own a 50, you're talking $4,000 for a Barrett or something like that. The appeal of the Noreen is this thing retails at $21.99. So you can get this thing on Liberty Tree Guns layaway program for $210 down and have 90 days to pay for it. You can also trade in against that gun and put a 50 in your life. I kind of dig it. Like, I know they're more refined 50 cals, but to get a functional, and it's very utilitarian, I almost give it like a...
Yeah, it looks like it could have been made in someone's garage or something in terms of the mechanics.
Yeah, it's simple, it's effective, and it's very... I don't want to say rudimentary, but it's very classic feeling. Like, it feels attainable that someone could have designed this thing, but yet it still functions and it fires, and you can fire 1,500 yards. You can fire out to a mile. And so those Noreen Firearms ULR-50 would be my answer of at least one of the many incredible guns that we can sell to any individual who qualifies under the 4473 background check form. So that would be my answer, although there are many more incredible guns here. Appreciate you coming into the store. Appreciate you calling the voicemail line. And there is not enough time in the day to keep this show going forever.
Never.
So let's bring it home. I will want to remind you real quick, join the Facebook group, Gun Shop Show, and get in the behind the scenes, make suggestions for shows. We have heated head, past tense of heated.
Huh? Oh, we have heated?
Heated advice of...
Oh, heated. I gotcha.
Of our listeners, suggestions. We've taken those up. Guest ideas. We take those and we roll with them. Sure appreciate it. If you're interested in getting any of the freebies that we promote on the show, if you joined us late, go back to the first segment because we give you a chance to get free merch, and we gave away a couple really nice things at the beginning of the show. So if nobody has snagged those up, those are up for grabs. Probably someone has by now, but
yeah, I can't imagine those made in 5 minutes.
Yeah, those are awesome. So that's a good reason to tune in from the start of the show, which live broadcast starts at 9 a.m. on Saturday mornings. You can catch us on the radio. You can also catch us on the podcast, and then you can catch the restreams anytime you feel like it. So sure appreciate you guys being here. Sure appreciate all of our great sponsors. And you'll be meeting some of those new folks. If you'd like to become a sponsor, send us information at info@gunshopshow.com, and we will... Hey, it worked. Good to know the signal worked. We will get back to you on sponsorship opportunities to help continue to spread the word of the Gun Shop Show like wildfire. It's been a blast. Thanks for watching.
I should have had a